What if? What if, and so be it. What if I just put the camera here, right? Let the world slowly unravel. That you enjoy the scenery. I'm just going to speak some words freely. It's been a minute, as they say. Coming into the end of April, the start of autumn, another autumn, 2026. And thoughts and ponderings, and what if? What if it works out? What if it doesn't work out? What if it's okay? What if it's not okay? Once again, it's like the weather. Beautiful, calm waters. And then some days it's notoriously windy. And not necessarily stressful, but perhaps a reluctance to accept the conditions. A bit like, okay, that's enough. Go away, please. But in this stillness I've mentioned before, there's other factors that occur. Condensation, insects, stagnant in a way, to and fro. So be it so. So what if? What if love, in the compilation of what it is all that is nourishing to the soul to be received as to delivered from? What if that doesn't occur in my reality again? Oh well, so be it. Am I okay with that? It's okay. It's okay. It's accepting my will, the level of my will. Is what it is at that point of time. And is there a reluctance? There's a what if I revisit the past and make request for a new reunion, a new fusing of an old into a new. Do you let it go? Do you let it be? Like, what if? Where's the benefit? Is it a question to ask? Not just for myself, but for those or to thee who I ask of. There is the giving and there is the taking. True or false? Like the little fish or the bird looking for the fish. Does it ask itself, what if I don't catch anything today? Yeah, I don't think so. It just goes about doing its thing. What if I did that? Just drop the pebble in the water. I need not watch how far the ripples go. I need not watch how many ripples are produced. I needn't sit there on the edge in lieu of everything, in the waiting of, in this pondering of what if. It's potentially not healthy. I could make the statement that it just isn't healthy. Like here on the boat, there's plenty to do. There's plenty to do. And what if I don't get it all done? Well, I don't get it all done. An issue, I feel, lingering too much in the unknown or the uncontrollable. But knowing that there is a sense of controlling the unknown by entertaining the what if that I'd rather be so. If you can make sense of that, then you may have just realized something. And you may have found an answer to many a question. Lost in the question is very detrimental to oneself. Get lost in the question. There's no space. There's no space to find the answer, right? Or to acknowledge the answer when it presents itself. And so what if I just put the camera here? And I let you get a sense of what I'm looking at. As I sip on a coffee and have a little think. And ask myself, the what if, and what if that's just how it is? That's just my will, I think it's will. There's the will to or the will not to, an unwillingness, a reluctance to interfere, or a decision not to interfere and let it be and be okay with that. However, there is that question, what if somewhere in there is a question of me? Excuse me. Of will he do it? You'd think he would. I mean, just for the sake of curiosity. And I'm making it a hint towards, as I said, a past. Visiting a past and the word request, not is it a request? Am I making a request? There's a potential for that. There's a curiosity, and in the curiosity, is it me being selfish? Am I being selfish to entertain a curiosity? And then where is the benefit? Is what turns up too. How does the other party receive the benefit from my will to entertain a potential of a new reality, a new future? And many would say, well, you'll never know if you never give it a go, and that's very true. Like, I can never know the taste of something that I've never tasted without tasting it. I can make comparisons. I can ask those before me, have you tasted this? What's it taste like? And reflect on similar things I may have tasted. But in all of that and from all of that, I'll never taste that which I've never tasted. And I can simply just taste it and go, yeah, that's bitter, that's sour. And it needn't be, I knew that was going to happen, because I didn't know. I can only know of a potential. I can only know of a potential. And if I hold on to the energy of that potential, then there's a good chance that that will prevail. That makes sense to you? What's an example? Let's use a job interview. There's a job that you like. You'd like to get the position. So there's the potential outcome. Hey, you're hired. You're beauty. There's the potential you're not. Someone else gets hired. So you can hold on to that potential. There's the A and there's the B. Let's say A is you get it, B is you don't. So in a similar situation, if I hang on to the energy of A or hang on to the potential energy of B, then that's the pebble I'm really going to end up dropping, is it? Or the seed that I will plant, and therefore that is the plant. I end up planting B, knowing that I wanted A. The other thing to think of for myself is, what if I just still do not have the capacity to truly nurture the outcome and to honor it and to manage it? And so accept that part of me, that you just don't have it, kiddo. It's just, you don't have it. No matter how many seasons you've seen, that you've lived in, you just don't have it. Like a potato plant will never smell like a rose, right? It's just how it is. I mean, you can make attempts, you can muck around, and you can put in a lot of energy. So what if? What if it's okay? What if it's not okay? What if it works out? What if it doesn't work out? A and B, oh well, so be it. And being okay with that. There's going to be a complacency. There's a complacency and there's the contentment. And that happiness and all of these things, they're all just experiences. And I came across a little video, a sailor out there, right, doing her thing, and said something that was really interesting and I resonated with, and was of the conclusion that that's where it's at. That's where it's truly at. When you go beyond the happiness and all of it, and it's to be in sync with nature. And that there's a purity in that. Because the mind can go to different places here and there. And the spirit is separate. The spirit is separate of the mind. And many of us, we're judged for what may occupy the mind, be it permanently or temporarily. Now, the more permanent it is, obviously, that's something that you got to be open to the fact that you'll be judged by it. And as I do myself, I make judgment. Mind and behavior, however that be so, there's a question to you. Is it separate of the spirit? So what if? Yeah, what if I'm not meant to do that? What if I am meant to do that? Am I allowed to? Where do I seek permission? Do I need permission? And it could be an interesting fact that the person, or however it is waiting for an action from me to refuse. And there's the settlement in that. There's the well, that's done and dusted, you beauty. And that could be part of truly moving on, is giving something to be refused or to be rejected. And only when I do that, then I produce an empty space in myself. Because without a clear space, nothing new can be created, right? You need a clear space. You need to create a clear space for there to be space for things to be created in or on. Think of a workbench. If it's crowded and full of clutter, trying to work in that area is going to be troublesome. And so, as I'm speaking that out loud, I get a sense of, hurrah, finally. Like, it doesn't have to work out. But you need to entertain the possibility that it will, and you need to contribute to it. Let's use the job interview as an example. Whether you get the job or not is potentially irrelevant, but what it is what's relevant is making the contribution to the outcome working in one's favor. So I'll say that again, just to reinforce it into my own mind as well. That whether the outcome works in one's favor is irrelevant. What is relevant to the soul, to the evolution of the self, is making the contribution towards that outcome presenting itself in one's reality. So let go of affirmations, let go of manifestations, but accepting them as laws, obviously, and making these contributions. What if it works out? What if it doesn't work out? Now I'm realizing none of that matters. Yeah, none of that matters. What matters here is, what am I contributing? Now, my contribution may be well received and it may be well rejected. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I'm having an epiphany. So thank you for being a soundboard. I appreciate you right now. I really do. Sitting with me, enjoying the light casting of a new day. And how about that? Entertaining that and contributing your thought energy. Different perspective, right? Changing one's mentality. And it's not going to fit in with everyone. It's like ingredients. Oh, what are you doing? That's not meant to go with that. That's not palatable. But have you done it? Have you tried it? Yeah, no, maybe. You have or you haven't. And if it works for you, it works for you. I go through this life, this world, this nature, making contributions to the self, and I think that's what it is. It's, if there was a certain outcome that was to arrive, how does that make one feel? Like, is there a goodness in you? Is there an excitement? Is there a pleasure? Is there a pleasure to it? That's okay. And with that, is it debilitating anyone or any parties? And if the answer is no, then I don't see what is wrong. Where is the wrongness? A lot of those things come from, let's be honest, psychological conditionings through social narratives when we're a kid, growing up, in the TV and the radio and the commercials, and listen to how people speak still to today about marriage and all of this. Because this marriage is looked at it as this toxic word. It's mentality, it's perspective, it's contribution. Being able to be in a place where you can feel safe is truly important, because then you can freely contribute to a potential. Two people can freely contribute to a potential and be of enough of a spirit and an intelligence to go, yeah, not my flavor. And say, okay, that's cool. because it wasn't a pillar of the foundations. So even if it's not there, nothing gets built. I don't see anything collapsing. Is where my mentality is at. And however, though, there are going to be some things that you go, well, this is an important part of the foundations. One of those things could be communicating freely and openly, right? Making the contribution and knowing that the contribution of speaking the truth, of speaking honest, is going to be rejected. So it's something just that's happened just recently. And coming to a place in myself that, well, that's okay. And not having any reciprocating emotions or thoughts of that are abrasive, going back to where the places where I gave my truth and it was rejected. You know how that happens? That's happened in my world before. Previously, where the hate or the anger and all the abrasiveness that was given to me, I would return that in the way to help me accept the rejection. Does that make sense? Like, we blame people. Well, if you were this and because of you, you hear the words like, oh, you arsehole or you bitch, and you know what I'm saying? The fire against fire doesn't do anything, it just burns everything out, right? And then there's nothing. There's a nothing. But even though when I say there's a nothing, there will always potentially be that lingering, right? Well, what if I send them an email? Or because calling can be confronting, even a text message, but to send someone a letter or an email or make contact with a parent or a grandparent and say, I'm wondering if you could relay this on. Look, if you don't, I get it. It's just maybe I am being selfish because I want to get this curiosity out of me. But it's also an effort towards what potentially may be. Reconnecting and establishing something new, but also saying to myself, hey, maybe you just don't have it. You just don't have what's needed to be gifted that reality. Okay. And then not get lost in all of this. Well, who have I got to become? What have I got to do? You could do that. That's contributing as well. But remembering that through all of that effort, that too may be rejected. And then going, yeah, I know that, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because then, yeah, is it ego now? Is it ego to say, well, at least I did it. I did it. I didn't have this what if lingering in me until my end days. So is that selfish? Am I being selfish to interfere with the current reality of another? And I'll never know. Do I need to know? What if? So be it. It's okay. I'll leave you here for a little bit because it's pretty, right? It's pretty. It's been a while since I got up this early. All I need now is some dolphins just to turn up. But they will come. And what just came up for me then was, how will you know? You'll know when the sadness when there's no longer any sadness in the thinking of. Yeah. Because I didn't contribute. I think that's what it is. The sadness, it may be different. There may be different sadnesses, because if someone's passed, you can't, they're past, right? But you can make a contribution to the way you think. Yeah. And even myself may reject the improvement, the evolution. I may reject what is necessary. Yeah. So you can see in people's worlds, you just be wondering, why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? And it could be just that's just it. Because they just don't have it. They don't have the capacity. Because the fusion of perspective, the fusion of experiences, right, have become so solidified that it's impossible to alter it. And there lies, so be it. And it's okay. And being out here in the water, it's always reminding that I don't control the weather. I can only control how I conduct myself. And then be of a readiness and of appreciation and of a gratitude in the events through the weather conditions that have the most benefit. So an example, this is so beautiful and so calm. And so this is a good time for me to leverage doing works on the boat. fixing up the roof, putting the chain in diesel, soaking the chain in diesel, doing works inside the boat, and then when the weather's rough, giving an appreciation to the boat holding its ground, the mooring holding its ground, and when power is generated from the wind. When there's no wind, I can't generate power. So I could say that there's pros and cons, or there's the ebb and there's the flow. If the sun was always shining, it'd be hard to get to sleep, right? Or you'd have to darken things out. So in the night, there's a quietness. Right? And when the casting of the new light comes, there's this activity. Appreciation. Giving appreciation to knowing something of someone that allowed to know something more about you. And saying that's okay. It's okay that it didn't work out. And many would say, well, it wasn't meant to be. I don't know that anymore. I don't know what is meant to be and not meant to be. All I know is that it is and it is not. And did I make a contribution? Which I did. And yeah, so your contributions are going to be warmly received or hastily rejected, and that's okay. Yeah, so do you in the ways that feels right to you, I guess. And it might change. And that's why I made the decision to leave the porch light on. And you see that in other people's realities. Why do you keep leaving the porch light on? Well, why not? If someone's reality doesn't truly affect you, it only affects you and you're entertaining in the confusement on why they do something, then that's on you, is it not? And so I made a decision to leave the porch light on, because that's the other part, is when we make the reference towards tasting something that you've never tasted, not always going to like it the first time. So it's about giving space, but not sitting on the edge going, well, are you going to have another taste? Do you want another taste? Here's another taste. Like, it's good. Like, you don't have to have it all the time, right? It's not hurting anyone. So leaving the porch light on is saying that here it is at your own will, whether you taste or not. It's a no pressure situation for people. But I was very quick to turn the porch light off, and now make reference to other things that have happened in my life. I think, man, yeah, I could have left it on. Because now there's that lingering curiosity, is I wonder if they've left their porch light on, but I'll never know. I can never know unless I make a contribution towards some type of communication. But a good communication, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you to everyone and everything that has made a contribution to me. Just looking at things a little differently. And maybe in those small, moments, that you could call them micro evolutions. And they could be the byproduct of that's character development or changing of one's ways. Or settling into a way also. And becoming more okay with that and more confident that that way of you, that way of being is okay. And that there is a nature to it. And in a totality that it's not depleting the overall existence of that nature. The nature within the self and the nature outside of the self. And when I hear that little crow up there, it reminds me of someone. And I ponder and I sort of take on they're thinking about me. Well, that's cool. And so that might be a flavor or a taste that someone listening doesn't quite get. Like, what? Listening to a crow reminds you of someone and they're thinking about you? Yeah, because there's a relation between the crow and I'm making this video and I'm in the witness of a new light being casted, new sunlight being casted. And I notice that they're still sitting in the they're still sitting in the stands. They're still on the bleachers, you can say. Or yeah, their name's still on the seat. Whether they're sitting in the seat, I don't know. But what I do know is that the name's still on the seat, right? And it's up to them to take the name off the seat. So there was a bit of a smile. And so I needn't shy away from just keep doing me. These small contributions. And who knows? Like, who knows what will eventually arrive? So it will, either it will or it won't. And so that's just how it is, isn't it? And when it does, you go, thank you. Thank you. And I could give a sense of hope that I am of the capacity to really appreciate its presence in my reality and be gifted the echo of my contribution being a benefit. Yeah, being a benefit. I mean, both can be a benefit, right? The rejection can be a benefit, and the reciprocation of, oh, well, that's good. That can be, it's all a benefit, really, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. What a wonderful view. Yeah, so pretty. So peaceful. Yeah, peaceful. Thanks for stopping by. Till the next time.